me, but I was just paid. I didn't do anything wrong to anyone. I just, make a profile of that inside. You know, people are people are doing this profile because they are looking for, love or other things, friendship. They want to go outside with someone. They want to talk, especially when they are young. So these people were standing there outside my house. They were screaming all night, all days. They were like taking one day of break, and they come back. And this was looking, and they were standing there, and they want to spread it to whole city, So they were basically sending my naked photos to everyone, basically everyone in the city. They want to invite everyone in this persecution. Uh, so during the time, all of this persecution was basically standing outside my house, screaming and throwing bottles, makeup, flowers with broken glass, and things like that. They scream, come on here, fellow, we're gonna you, and so on. Uh, so basically, it was this, they were standing there, screaming that they gonna finish me, uh, that I should finish myself, and they were still sending my naked photos to everyone. During the time, they were sending these photos to grow-ups. Later on, they start sending my naked photos even to kids. Uh, Later on, it was looking like this for 5 years. First 5 years was only this. Basically, they want to scare me. They want to force me to make a finishing move, and so on. Uh, and then they start afraid of consequences of their actions. They were afraid that I will go to police and snitch on them because even in Poland, it's not legal to you know persecute someone, forcing someone to finish him, or screaming things like finish yourself or we're gonna finish your family, and they start pointing out my family members. And they were afraid that I will go to police and snitch on them. I didn't ever. I am not snitch. Even if someone doing really terrible things to me, I didn't uh, went to police because not only I am not snitch, but I was afraid. I also know I knew this will worse my situation. It will be even worse when I will go to police. That this will spread. He's not only gay, he's also a snitch. This snitching part is really funny, but I will talk about it a little bit later. So they start like uh, putting putting consequences on other people, sending these photos and they were inviting other people to join them because if there will be some consequences, they will be spread among other people. So if you were in their place and you're like them narcissistic psychopath, you want to push the consequences on other people. So other people will have to face these consequences, or they will have to help you out to hide this or to solve this problem. Like this problem will be solved in a few hours. I got like 3 hours maybe. So basically, they were later on they started inviting more and more people into this. Into this. Even my neighbors are probably sitting right there and listening to this. There's one person on the stream. I don't know who it is, but maybe it's my neighbor, maybe it's someone from pickup portal. It's something like Reddit, but it's Polish. It's information portal. You know. So probably someone will check the stream, to see me and how I speak, because I will talk about it later on. Let's back to the story. So they were inviting more and more people. As they say, they were inviting people by their IQ. And I think about it, and it's probably not not high. You know, they were aiming for basically dumb people. So that is true. They say that it's they work. They invite people by IQ, and I add to this low. Uh, during the time, many other things happened, but they wasn't important for me from my point of view because I was scared and that kind of thing, but I just don't care too much. I was thinking, yeah, they're standing there, but one day they will just go somewhere else. They will leave me alone. I was so naive, but I believed that they will just leave me alone, but they didn't. And now it's 8 years, and the problems only grow bigger, much, much bigger. Even my family is involved with persecutors. I will talk about this later on because I don't want to lose my thoughts. So they later on invite a guy who is working in PSP, my internet service provider, which is Vectra in Poland, and then invited him because I didn't have any social media. I just don't use them. I don't use Facebook, Twitter, and all it's X, and I just don't use this mainstream big social media. I use I have used some social media, but they are not big, not popular, small. I prefer small communities, and I don't taking a part in discussion on internet forums for years. I'm not interested in it. I am sitting at PC like all day, but I prefer uh, the old one, social media, like World of Warcraft, for example, or other MMORPGs games. They're just better for me. People don't know who I am. They don't know I am the persecuted guy. I am just, like in games, I am, up, and people don't judge. So they invite this guy was who still is working in my internet service provider. The reason for that was I didn't have any social media, so they couldn't stalk me. They couldn't, get any photos of my face and so on. So they started to stalk my family members to uh, take the photos when I was with my family. So they can have these photos and show other people to see you, he look like this. If you see him screaming something like this, or be aware. uh, it's tiresome to talk about it, but I don't have too much time. Probably police want to force me to delay these streams, otherwise my family members will prosecute me. But they already are. So I probably won't gonna do that. Maybe they will force my sisters to try to, contact YouTube or, you know, mm, leave me for a password so they can delete it because they are afraid their kids will be prosecuted. These people, when they start persecuting me, they show to other people that they are protectors of family values, tradition and type, that kind of things. It's I found it really hilarious because after years they start to prosecute my family and they invited into it other people, a lot of people, not hundreds, thousands, thousands. You get that? Thousands of people. It's like I found this in unfortunate. It was something called dark stalking, and I think it was some theory for uh, tinfoil hats that someone could be prosecuted that way, but it's really. So let's back to this guy who worked in the internet service provider, which is Vectra in Poland. Uh, they invite him because he can check my log, internet log, and he could send this to them. I even invented methods of checking if someone is doing it to you. Basically, you can bite someone to, tell others that this guy is checking this size or this size. Uh, Sites for adults are easy targets, easy if you in this situation when a guy who is working for you, he, a spy, uh,